So, Dr. Ruth, we're at year 2 of our March Madness picks. This seems to be happening in the middle of our own version of March Madness, the Middle States Madness. So I appreciate you finding the time to go through a bracket with us. So.
Yeah, I did so well last year. Thanks for having me back.
Well, you gave other people a fighting chance, and that's really what matters. We've had our first round filled in here, so we'll be at our Sweet 16. But before we dive into the picks, do you have a memory of a March Madness moment that sticks out to you?
Well, I love March Madness. It's my favorite time of the year, just watching all the games. It'll be on my TV for the next couple days in my office. But when I was at Drexel, to go to the NCAA was really pretty phenomenal. Actually, the women were there more than the men, so going to a women's NCAA was pretty cool to be there with all the it was just so exciting. It was just so active and so, you're so proud of your school and everybody's so excited. It was just really, I just remember that was a lot of fun. But this is my absolutely favorite time of the year this time. Even with Middle States here today, it's still a special day.
Yeah, we welcome them here, by the way.
Of course. In fact, they may have inspired some of our picks.
Yes, we were going to choose who gets accredited when they make the Final Four, right? So we'll start right up at the top. You had Auburn overcoming one of our Pennsylvania schools, possibly, in the first round.
Yeah, but I really don't pay a whole lot of attention to the last 4 of the 68. I should, because if any upset, it might be Xavier or could even be Mount St. Mary's beating Duke. I doubt it. But for here, clearly Auburn for me.
And we've got them matched up against Louisville, who's had a lot of tournament success in the past, but they might be up against Auburn. What do you think?
And that's a hard pick because it's 8 and 9, and Creighton is right there. But I think Auburn's going to take either one, so it doesn't really matter. I'm still going with Auburn.
All right. Auburn goes through the first round. And now we have our first loyalty pick here. Is my favorite team, Michigan, goes up against my buddy John Tyndall's favorite team.
For you, okay.
A&M.
John Tyndall is
He's an A&M guy, yeah.
Oh, an A&M? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm a Michigan fan. Although, as a 5 seed playing a 4 seed, I'm still, I'll
No waiver on me now.
I'll go with you. I'll
Okay.
go with you.
All right. I'm going to do UM on here.
Sorry, John.
We picked blue on purpose. All right, moving to the bottom half of the bracket, Ole Miss emerged from the winner of the first 4, which saw North Carolina go down.
Yeah, for Mark Singer, his son's at UNC. Sorry, Mark. I still picked Ole Miss, and I'm going to pick Iowa over Ole Miss now. But
the Iowa State Cyclones.
I've never heard of. This is a team that you said gets in there just about every.
Yeah, they're one of those teams that wins their conference tournament every few years and then doesn't go a whole lot further than that. But
well, I'm counting on that to be true this time.
Yeah, we'll just edit it out if we're wrong.
All right, so where are we? Marquette, New Mexico. See, that could have been an upset for me, so I picked New Mexico.
Yep.
But when it comes to playing Michigan, it's going to be Michigan State. Sorry, Michigan State. Cedric would appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate it less, but that's all right. At least it's.
This is in honor of Cedric, even though he's long gone. But it's a Spartan, Once you have to.
That's true. You could have some Spartan loyalty.
That's right.
I'll go along with that. You had our Florida Navigators make it out of the first round, taking on UConn, who's had a lot of tournament success in the last few years, but not so much in the regular season this time around.
I like the Huskies. I really do, but they're not going to beat number 1 Florida, I don't think.
Florida advances. We call them the Florida
Navigators
Advisors now, or are we sticking with Memphis and Maryland next? I know you have a lot of
I'm a Maryland guy,
here.
so I got to go with my home team.
That's Big Ten now, so I'm okay with that. Then
I'm going to give Grand Canyon State for being in it. Give Grand Canyon credit for being in it. All right, so if I'm from Maryland, my entire in-law family's from Missouri, so I'm going with Mizzou, even though that's a 6 seed over Texas Tech.
Mizzou gets past Texas Tech, and we've got
a
lot of loyalty on this side of the bracket.
I'm doing that just for my in-laws, although I don't really think that's going to happen, but I'm going to try it.
So we
go
got
ahead.
Another matchup of teams who've had some historical success, but kind of in the reverse expectation this time around. Kansas limped their way in a bit, and St. John's has been hot.
And in honor of Art Scott, because I know that's his team, I'm going to pick St. John's.
All right. We'll call this the loyalty
He
bracket.
was there for the playoff in New York last weekend. So, yeah, this is okay. This is in honor of my friends or family, me, my in-laws, and Art Scott. So, don't let me down.
All right. Well, we'll head east now, where we've got Duke made it out of
Duke.
the first round. It's going to be taking on Baylor.
I go back to this one though because that's Mount St. Mary's. That's right near my home where I grew up. But they're not going to beat Duke, so that didn't happen. But Duke's a good team, but they always win. But I think they're going to take over Baylor this year.
Duke advances.
But maybe not any further.
Oregon over.
I give Liberty credit for getting in this year, but
Yeah, they fell to Oregon, and now Oregon is facing what used to be a conference opponent in Arizona, but not anymore. They don't play each other.
yeah. But who's stronger right now? There's really neck and neck. I've been watching them play this season, and they're both really strong. And I think either one of them could do this. So let's go with the lower seed, just so you don't say I always pick the high seeds. We'll go with Oregon.
Okay. No chalk over here. This is dry erase. All right, skipping our way to the bottom, we've got VCU, Virginia Commonwealth, against Wisconsin, who a bit surprisingly got a 3 seed. I thought Michigan earned that, but that's an argument for a different time.
Yeah. And I'm going to give them a chance. Let's go with Wisconsin.
All right.
I watched them just the other night, and they're pretty impressive.
So we're heading into SEC territory now. Vanderbilt takes on Alabama.
Yeah, so, all right, Clemson's down there. So, do I roll Tide? Let's roll Tide in honor of Doug Smith and anybody else who's a Alabama fan.
All right. Moving on, Houston beat Southern Illinois, not the Southern Illinois I went to, though. Southern Illinois, Edwardsville, so they're
Which
gone.
one were you?
Carbondale.
SIU Carbondale.
They're pretty close, but, the wrong one made the tournament this year. But Houston takes on Gonzaga, who you've got some history with.
Yeah, I always say, like, what's Gonzaga known for? I don't know, except for being in the NCAA. I think 30 years straight running now. I saw on the news the other night. They're just a fabulous team. They're known for good basketball, but can they beat a number 1 seed? I think they struggled getting in this year at 8, so let's go Houston.
All right. Houston takes another round, and we're headed towards Clemson and Purdue.
My son is going to deject that I even picked Clemson to begin with because he was a University of South Carolina student. But I picked Clemson over Purdue. No, I picked Purdue. So I can redeem myself, Nick. I didn't pick Clemson.
Well, if there's a trend, it's Big Ten so far. So we've got
Yeah.
most of them coming through, but that's all right.
I know.
Another chance to keep that going with Illinois versus Kentucky.
Yeah, so I have some history with Kentucky now. My son's friend from high school plays on that team, and we've been following them all season. They're inconsistent, but they made it to 3rd seed, which I think is a pretty generous seed, but I'm going to pick Kentucky.
All right. Kentucky advances. And we head to the bottom of the bracket where Utah State, which was an upset pick over UCLA at a 10 seed, takes on Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't think it matters about this one because Tennessee's going to get it, I think. And Troy Tucker would agree with me on that one, I think.
I was hoping you'd get a matchup where you'd have Troy against Tennessee, and then he'd really have to pick, but Troy had to.
Troy, good for them getting in this year. It's good for them.
All right, let's circle back around
All right, here
to
we
the South
go.
region then. This is where things get real. So we've got Michigan against Auburn now.
Yeah, Michigan's a 5 seed. Auburn's 1. I'm going to go with Michigan.
All right.
And this isn't a reflection on you, but or in support of you, but wouldn't it be nice? That'd be a great upset. You would agree on
it'd
that.
be wonderful, and
I
I
think
will
you'd
frame
agree.
this bracket if we get that far. It's dry
You don't
erase,
think?
but it won't be. I'll
You don't
replace
think I
that
can
one.
still?
You change
So
it
you don't
yourself?
have that pick on yours?
Going
that far?
I'm a fan, but I'm also somewhat of a realist. So if someone else picking them makes me excited, I probably will.
I really do
hedge my
like
emotional
Auburn,
bets.
though. So that's really. Can you put that in pencil?
Well, we can work on it. So, I mean, if Michigan advances, Are they going to advance to play Michigan State?
That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? What is Michigan is a 5 and Michigan State's a 2.
Yep.
I have, yeah, that's a tough one. Wow. Iowa is 3, Michigan State's a 2. That's tough. Let's do Michigan State. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
They split their matchups this year, and I'm hoping that Michigan can take that rubber match. But
yeah, I'm debating. I can't change now, right? Once you're in, you're locked and loaded. So.
I don't know. By executive privilege, I think you can change what you want.
I like Auburn here, but let's just leave it for right now. Let's get back to Florida, Maryland. I'm sorry, Maryland. I think Florida's going to do it.
Florida advances, which leaves us Mizzou versus St. John's and a loyalty test for you.
I'm going to stay with Art Scott. He's never let me down so far. So
I give St. John's another round. Duke and Oregon.
I'm not a Duke fan. I don't know. What's your commentary on Duke this year? Do they deserve it?
Duke's got probably the best player in the nation who's a little bit banged up, but if he's healthy enough, that's going to be a tough out.
Yeah. Usually just out of spite, I pick the other team, but it's let's do it. I don't know if I'll have them go to the Final Four, but
Duke goes on. Now we've got Wisconsin and Bama in a matchup of maybe some of the best party schools in the country.
Yeah, 3 versus 2. That's hard. Yeah, let's go Wisconsin. Only because I watched them play Kentucky and they were really good and it was tough. So, all right.
Houston and Purdue next.
1 and 4. Okay, so Purdue beat Clemson. Houston. This is not mathematically sound. This is just like
yeah, trust the gut
doesn't
at this
make
point.
A whole lot of sense.
Kentucky and Tennessee, that is a fairly local rivalry.
A phone a friend one on this one. I really do think Kentucky, I just don't know that they've got it to go to the end. But I really would hope that they could. But let's do it, just for fun. In honor of Andrew Carr, number 7 on the Kentucky team, I root for Kentucky.
All right, Kentucky advances. And now we're reached the point where we're picking our Final Four. So we'll go back up to the East. You got to pick your either knock Michigan out, put Auburn there, or pick between Michigan schools.
I think I'm going to bump Michigan out and pick Auburn to the Final Four. All right. Can I do that?
It was exciting while it lasted.
Well,
Auburn replaces Michigan, but makes up for it by beating Michigan State. So I can deal with that.
I think that'll happen.
We'll head down to Florida and St. John's now.
That would be pretty cool if St. John's made it to the Final Four. Let's do it, just for fun. That would be really cool, wouldn't it, to beat Florida?
Yeah, let's make it a self-fulfilling prophecy here. All right, Auburn, St. John's make up the first half of our Final Four. We got Duke and Wisconsin to decide who gets there next.
Wisconsin, out of principle.
Although,
wait a minute. You said Duke has the best. You're right about Duke, the best, but he's injured right now, right?
Yeah, he missed a lot of the conference tournament because of it.
He may have some homework to make up and stuff. So let's.
I think he might be not a 2-year school or 4-year school attendee. He might be a 1-year school attendee. So.
No, let's stay with Wisconsin.
All right, Wisconsin gets rid of Duke. You picked him as long as you could. I appreciate
Robin
your willingness
will be proud of me because she's not a Duke fan either.
They've got Houston and Kentucky.
Oh, boy. I think they're going to be good, but they're not going to go to the end, Kentucky. I'm sorry, Andrew, but I'm going to go Houston. But if you do go to the finals, I'll be rooting for you. But I think Houston's got a better chance.
So,
do you agree with any? Do you agree or disagree with these picks? Not that you're going to change my mind.
I don't see anything in here that I think was a wrong pick. I think St. John's is pretty hot. That's not bad. Florida is going to be a tough out for anyone with how hot they've been, but I'd like to see those two clash and see what happens. rest of these, I mean, there's some tough brackets all around, and whoever comes out of this one will have earned it. The East is the South is pretty powerful.
Yeah, but is St. John's able to beat Auburn? I don't know that.
Let's see. So we got St. John's, Auburn, Wisconsin, Houston. We can do this by matchup, or you can work backwards from your champion.
Yeah, I don't have my champion picked yet. Let's go St. John's, Houston. I've done 2 other brackets, and they don't look anything like this. So.
All right, we got
Okay.
St. John's, we got
That's
Houston.
it, right? We don't. Oh, we have to pick the final.
Yeah, well, if you keep this shirt nearby, we can record that one later. But
See, I don't have Houston on my pick. I don't know why Tennessee. No, we have to do it all over again. No, St. John's, Houston. Wouldn't that be cool if St. John's did it?
yeah, and
They're pretty strong.
they've got the coaching for it. They're hot enough. I think it could happen.
I think let's do it.
All right. Well, in our second year of attempting to top Dave's picks, St. John's is our national champion. Looking back at this, anything you regret right away?
No, it's when you're looking at 68 teams, you're like, oh, this is good. And then when you get down to the Final Four, those are not the 4 that I, except for St. John's, those are not the 4 that I would have thought. This one especially, but no, I'm staying with it.
I like that.
I mean, I don't want Duke, Auburn, Florida, Houston. That's just no fun, right?
Yeah, and if you had pre-decided, then there would be no fun in the exercise. That's
Yeah.
good prediction means you adjust it as you've got new data.
Now, if, this is Mount St. Mary's, Maryland. Wow, that's a 16 going all the way. I doubt that would happen. But no, I'm comfortable with my picks. I hope that I hope I do well, and hope that I inspired some of you as you're making your picks to think differently as well.
And at least a couple of these schools will end up accredited off of these picks, and we're hoping to match
Yeah.
them as well. Well, we did. The Spartans got a decent distance here, but overall, I hope that we enjoy the March Madness, both the rest of this week and this tournament. And make your picks, attend our March Madness programming, and see if you can win some prizes and maybe beat Dave's picks. See you later.